Hello, Earth Mamas. It's Marie, and I am back for a Transformation Tuesday. So, today we are talking about one of my favorite practices for really boosting your joy. Because everyone wants to feel better, right? And I always feel like the best practices are practices that honor the struggles and the challenges of life, of growing a baby, of caring for a baby, and then also find a way to celebrate all the good. And so today's activity at practice, it can do both of those things. And it is a practice that is recommended by hundreds of gurus. If you look at anyone who is in the mind body field, in the wellness field, who is just a mindset coach, anyone like this, they're going to recommend the same practice. And I am guessing that you've probably even maybe heard of this practice, but perhaps you're not doing it yet. I was introduced to this practice. I heard about this practice from like all kinds of different sources, but never really did it until I read a book called The Miracle Morning. And it's a great little book, and it talks about 5 practices that you can do each morning to set your day up for success. And that means success on a physical level, an emotional level, as well as a mental level. So I love that book. And if you want me to dive into some of the other practices that make up the Miracle Morning, if that sounds good to you, just post a comment down below, and I can definitely do that on another Transformation Tuesday. Today I'm actually going to look at the very last one. There's 5. The very last one, and that is the practice of scribing or writing or journaling. So let me know, how many of you have heard of this before, right? Yes. How many of you are, though, doing it? So I wanted to give you some really nice just guidance on how to bring it into your life. So it is a practice that, like I said, is recommended all over the place because it is based on the idea that what we pay attention to gets bigger in our lives. And you've all actually experienced this. So when you buy a new vehicle and suddenly you see that vehicle everywhere, right? Everywhere you look, you see that particular vehicle. That's because you are now sort of like attuned to that particular car, and so it starts to show up in your reality. So when we pay attention to something, then we start to see it more places in our lives. So when we want to bring more joy into our life, the way we start is by paying attention to the joy that's already there. So this goes by lots of different names. I call it my appreciation journal, but other people will call it a gratitude journal. And what it is that you take time every day to celebrate the good things. And it's actually a really important sort of like mental switch, because there are going to be days when you open up the page and you're going to be like, I can't think of anything. Or the only things I can think of are the things that like I've already said the day before. So when that happens, what I do is I start with those things that I said the day before. I just see if I can kind of put a different spin on them or like recognize something else in them that I love. And then I find that gets the juice flowing, and then I start to write more things. You need I would say, get yourself a beautiful journal. This is mine. I love flowers. I love plants, as you can see. And so there are days when I will write like pages, like this one here, this entrance from January, like it goes on for like 3 pages. But there are other days when when it's like super short, when it's just like a little paragraph. And there are other days when it's just like one sentence. And by not putting I kind of ideally want to write about half a page is, kind of my goal. But I find that if I make it too heavy, then sometimes I might not do it. And so if I just leave it a little bit loose, and if I just write at least something down, then it tends to happen every day. And There are certainly times in my life where I've been very disciplined and I've done this every single day. And there have been other times when it's sort of fallen off the wagon and you forget for a little while and you get out of the habit. But I will say that when I do consistently practice it, it definitely just lifts my energy, right? Because I start out my day by kind of highlighting all of the good things in my life. And then, you know what? When you close that journal, you're like, wow, my life rocks. Even if there's other things in your life that you're not satisfied with or that are a struggle for you, it makes you pay attention to the good things. And if you're like one of those people who are like, but Marie, I'm not a writer, like I hate writing. There are other ways to do it. For most people, actually taking the pen, there's something sort of magical that happens. You could try a video log, or what I would suggest is just put it down in point form. I actually have some entries in here that are simply like point form. Like today, like my dog came and was like so happy to see me this morning. My plant is looking good. This is what I wrote about today. Look at this, you guys. My orchid, it bloomed. I was so excited. I seriously wrote about that one. I have never had an orchid rebloom before, so I was so ecstatic. Anyways, it can be little things like that that just bring you joy. But when you write about it, you increase it. So you need a beautiful notebook, one that's beautiful, that when you open it, you're like, ah. And then what's really nice is if you decide on a particular time of day when you're going to do it. That's going to help you get more consistent results. And for me, that would be in the mornings, but it doesn't have to be. So I invite you to play around with it and see which time of day works the best for you. So that is it for today. Like I said, I am all about providing you with holistic tools and practices that will enhance your experience of pregnancy and help with bringing this baby earthside with more gently, and then help you once baby arrives. And this can be beautiful once your baby arrives as well. So that's it for today. Thanks for joining me. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.